A lot of times you look at these injuries, like Kobe wasn't doing anything that was really strenuous. Dan Marino wasn't doing anything. David Beckham wasn't doing anything strenuous. He was, they're barely moving, and all of a sudden it just goes. And I don't know if it's just the accumulation of miles on that. It's the timing of it, the fact that you had a calf injury. Were you favoring the calf injury? Does that make the Achilles weaker? And that's why we reached out to Dr. Mark Adickes. He is a former NFL player and part of DirecTV's Fantasy Zone. He's an orthopedic surgeon. And I know we're going to talk in generalities, Mark, because, you've dealt with this, but you don't know about Kevin's injury. So in fairness to the medical community, we'll talk in generalities about this. So explain, and thanks for joining us, Doc. What is an Achilles tear? What happens?
So, all of your calf muscles are going down the back of your leg, and they join together in a confluence, and that's what the Achilles tendon is. It's basically the tendon of all of your calf muscles that give you the strength to go up onto your toes and to push off and jump and accelerate. And the Achilles generally ruptures right in the center of the tendon, right? So when you open it up and look at it, it looks like a bunch of spaghetti on each end. It's not like it rips off the bone. It's not like it rips out of the muscle. It generally just ruptures right in half. And you were making reference to the fact that guys were injured not doing much. Generally in these athletes, they'll just get chronic inflammation that is in the tendon, and most athletes have it in their Achilles, in their patella tendon, in their quad tendon, and then eventually something happens in some guys when they move just the right way at just the wrong time, which is what happened with Kevin.
Is there any connection? Obviously, there's a medical connection with the calf to the Achilles, but the fact that if you have a tender calf muscle, can that maybe exacerbate the Achilles?
Well, all right. So when he injured it the first time, the one thing that really struck me is the fact that he was barely jogging down the court, really, and he looked behind him kind of angrily, like someone had hit him. And we heard the Air Force officer talking about where it felt like someone hit him in the back of the leg with a 2x4. So I knew something tore then. But where he grabbed his leg was more on the calf muscle. But it could have been sort of where the muscle is meeting the Achilles tendon, and it was caused initially by a little bit of chronic inflammation, both within that musculotendinous attachment where the muscle meets the tendon and in the tendon itself. So, are they connected? Honestly, a calf strain should make it so you're not pushing off quite as hard. So if anything, it should be protective of the Achilles tendon. But at the same time, it can alter your biomechanics. But I think it's more that there was a little bit of chronic inflammation with that tendon to begin with. And honestly, since it tore, it might even be a good thing. It might have been something that lingered throughout the offseason and then tore next year. And so now that it's done, he'll get fixed and he'll be back and ready to go. And obviously that's assuming that it's torn, which is my opinion, looking at the video.
Have you done this type of surgery?
I have. I mean, now in my practice I don't, but I mean, I did earlier in my career and during training, did a lot of these, but everybody subspecializes, particularly in the sports world. And so I work on more of the large joints. But that being said, I mean, I've seen this injury repaired a bunch of times, and I'm also familiar with the literature. And in professional athletes, honestly, about 2/3 of the guys are able to return to sport, right? And the timetable to return is usually in the 10 to 12 month window. Mm-hmm. So given that this is happening during the NBA Finals is really problematic for his return even next season, provided this is a complete rupture of the Achilles tendon. And I've seen the video, and I've seen the video in slow motion, and he's pushing off that right foot, and you really do see this ripple throughout his entire calf musculature, which honestly, I will be shocked if it's not a complete Achilles rupture.
Yeah, you can watch that kind of roll up. That's what happens with the Achilles. And having witnessed this, you just see it roll up, and somebody feels like they've been shot in the back of the leg.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.